you want to become fitter, you need to develop a fitness habit. If you want to become stronger, you need to develop stronger habits. If you want to transform your physical, mental, and general health, you need to transform your habits. When it comes to fitness, what's holding you back from where you are now and where you want to be? Let me know in the comments below. If you're like most people, it's one of three things. Your goals feel impossibly far away. Perhaps you're overweight now and you want to be jacked, and the distance between those two things is just too far. Or you don't know how to get started. There's simply too much to learn. Or maybe you already tried a workout routine, but you hated it. It was too hard. It hurt. You didn't have fun. For whatever reason, you couldn't stick with it. And no matter which one of these applies to you, the solution is exactly the same. Start focusing today on establishing a fitness habit.
That everybody wants a transformation, right? Everybody wants a radical improvement, want rapid success. But we fail to realize that small habits and little choices are transforming us every day already.
In his book Atomic Habits, author James Clear explains just how life-changing habits can be. In my opinion, the most powerful effect of a focus on habits is that it shifts you into an action orientation. If you're too focused on an external result, for example, weight loss, muscle gain, strength gain, winning a competition, you'll ignore the very actions which would lead to that result.
Habits are not only the method through which we achieve external measures of success, like losing weight or gaining more, earning more money, or meditating and reducing stress. They are also the path through which we achieve internal change and actually become someone new.
Don't focus on the effects while ignoring the cause. The cause is what's important. The cause is the habit. The cause is that repetitive day-to-day behavior which in aggregate across time produces the effect. By establishing simple training and fitness habits like I'll describe in this video, I went from being sedentary and out of shape in my 20s to being a weightlifter, calisthenics athlete, climber, stretcher, hiker, freediver, and hand balancer in my 30s.
The real goal is not to run a marathon, the goal is to become a runner. The goal is not to write a book, the goal is to become a writer. Because once you've adopted that identity, you're really not even pursuing behavior change anymore. You're just kind of acting in alignment with the type of person you already see yourself to be.
First of all, you need to make it small. It needs to be so small that you'll actually do it, you can't avoid it, and it doesn't overwhelm you. So for example, don't start with a workout that's called
60-minute Navy SEAL Abs Blaster Shred Workout.
Instead, commit to doing 5 to 10 minutes of a relevant activity to your sport 2 to 3 times a week. Alternately, instead of using a time limit, you could use a different completion criteria. So for example, you could stop when you start sweating, or you could stop when you get out of breath for the first time. If you want to get into strength training, this could be 2 sets each of push-ups, pull-ups, jumping jacks, and squats. If you want to become a runner, this could be 5 minutes of jogging where you slow down to a walk every time you get out of breath. Second, make it easy. It should be so easy that you can't think of any excuse not to do it. Is the gym too far or too expensive? Use bodyweight exercises at home. And definitely don't wait to buy new equipment or a fancy new gadget to get started. You don't need optimal clothing or space or a fancy watch in order to start an activity. These are details that you can focus on later on once you're optimizing activity that you actually do. They should not be distractions from getting started in the first place. Someone is out there right now running in worse shoes than you're currently wearing, and they're probably running fast. It also shouldn't leave you extremely tired or sore. A little bit, of course, is fine, but the point is that you want to do it again soon. The results don't come from doing something once, they come from doing it forever. Third, make it fun. It should be something you look forward to doing, or at least don't dread doing. I've heard people say before that they don't like working out, but I think that's just a misunderstanding. I feel like that's a lot like saying that you don't like eating healthy food, or you don't like getting 8 hours of sleep, or you don't like relaxing. The truth is that you would absolutely love those things, you just haven't given them a proper chance in a manner specific to you that you could stick with. So for me, the activities are climbing, calisthenics, weightlifting, and hand balancing, but for you it could be anything. Don't like lifting weights? Try martial arts or parkour, climbing or dance, surfing, basketball, or any other team sport. There's 1,000 things you could do, just choose one. Fourth, make it measurable. In the long term, this will be how you see that you're making progress over time, but this is also essential because in the short term, it acts as a reward. So, keep a training log or calendar to mark off every time you complete a session. Each time you do this, you're rewarding yourself for the behavior that you have just done. And herein lies the secret to long-term consistency. On your good days and your bad days, the reward is the same. You took the action, you practiced the behavior, and you reinforced your identity as an active human.
True behavior change is really identity change. Because once you've changed that internal story, it's way easier to show up each day. You're not even really motivating yourself that much to do it. You're just like, this is who I am now.
If you made it this far and you're still skeptical, the real magic of habits is that their compound effect will produce drastic effects in the long term.
Like if you just look at the numbers, if you were able to improve by 1% each day for an entire year, and those gains compound, you would end up 37 times better at the end of the year. And if
Let's take a strength training example where you start with 2 to 3 sessions a week of 5 minutes of push-ups, pull-ups, and squats. From there, it's easy to add 5 more minutes every week. After a month, maybe you're doing 20 minutes. In 20 minutes, it's easy to add some extra exercises to make sure you're challenging your body in different ways. After a month of doing these exercises, it's easy to watch a video and learn how to improve your form or find a better variation because you'll actually have direct experience with practicing them. After a few months, you can experiment with changing your programming, which will be easy to learn because you'll actually have a frame of reference and because you'll have the physical capacity to actually complete a workout. Also, after a few months of training, you'll have built some muscle and lost some fat, which will naturally result in your hunger signals changing. This will help you learn about eating healthy foods, which will then increase your rate of progress further. After 3 to 6 months, your friends and family will start to notice because your appearance and your energy levels will have changed. This will further affirm your identity and improve your motivation. You'll also have naturally tweaked your program to include more of the things that you do enjoy and less of the things that you don't, so it'll actually be more fun and easier to stick to. Once you've proven to yourself that you actually are an athlete, you can invest in some of the details that will take your training further. For example, getting the weights at home, getting a gym membership that you know you'll actually use, or buying a training program that you'll actually follow through on. The changes to your metabolism and hormones from consistently training will also start to improve your sleep, which will literally improve every aspect of your life. After a year, you can take all of the physical and mental skills that you've learned from this and apply them to a new sport and progress much more quickly from the base that you've already built. If you start now, I promise that you won't believe how far along you'll be a year from now. And most importantly, you won't want to stop.